Hey, and welcome to this sound bath experience based on the current energies of our full moon in Aquarius, August 3rd, 2020. Now, I'm not an astrologer, but I am a sound alchemist. And as a sound alchemist, there is a connection between the sound technologies and the stars and the planets. So I love to tap into the knowledge of my astrology friends to learn what we're currently dealing with, and then use my knowledge with sound to create sound prescriptions, as well as yogic body, breath, and meditation tools to help us all use the current energies for our benefit. So in this class, I'd like to begin by just sharing a little bit about our current energies, and then we'll dive right into some yogic tools, followed by a lovely sound bath experience. So welcome to this August full moon in the sign of Aquarius, which is our rebel hero's path. Whew. That's a big one. Aquarius is the sign of the future. So this is like the time to bring in revolutionary changes into your life. This is the time for you to really embrace your individuality and make the necessary changes to get on this path, this new path that is now coming into our lives for the next 35 years. That's what this astrology for the last few months has been leading up to. We had this big ending of a 35-year path. Now we're into this new one. And right now, this full moon in Aquarius is the perfect time to really tap in to the revolution, like the liberation into who you really are. Now, a full moon means we're releasing. So what are we releasing? We're releasing anything that has been blocking and preventing us from making that shift. So that's like the old feelings, especially, and thoughts around all the endings that have just taken place. So in order to move into the new, there has to be a big ending, right? We've had a lot of big endings lately. And there is, now we get to liberate ourselves from that even, from the pain of that ending. We get to liberate ourselves from the heaviness of it. We get to let go of people, friend groups, work stuff, even like old work goals that just are no longer a part of the new vision. This is what we're letting go of. And this is what the rebel of Aquarius energy helps us bring in. The hero. Now, let's go right into that, because with any archetype, you can experience it on the low or the high end. And what low and high means is just like heavy energy or like really light, easy energy. Heavy, not so easy energy, lighter, easier energy. Not necessarily good or bad. Okay, just lower or higher spectrum. And so the lower spectrum of this rebel archetype is that one that is like the fighter rebel, right? Like the fighter rebel for no higher purpose. Especially that, we can think of this in that type of stage where, like very impulsive, that type of rebel, kind of like just for the purpose of causing fights, of being different, instead of it coming from a place of real honesty. In tune with who you really are. And that's where we go for the higher end of the spectrum. The highest rebel is that inner rebel. The one who is, instead of taking the rebellion outwards, is bringing it in and fighting their own inner battles. Looking at the shadows that need to be looked at. Looking at the habits, thoughts, emotions, behaviors that we're still doing. Looking at that in order to transform it. That's the path of that high rebel. That's what we're all being called into at this stage, is to take this awesome new opportunity. And instead of continue like the old ways, that low level of blaming, of criticizing, of if I'm right, then you must be wrong attitude that just keeps us divisive. You know, like you can even be doing that for a purpose you really believe in and think it's for a good purpose. But if it's still coming at it from this energy of I'm right, so you must be wrong, and I need you to buy into this, and I need to affect how you're behaving, that's still that lower level rebel warrior, the fighter. It's always our own choice and our own set of choices where we end up and where we are on the path. And it's okay to go down into those low levels and then bring ourselves back up. Bring ourselves into, right? Aquarius is like this air energy. So instead of that like criticism type thinking, now it's the critical type thinking. So now it's discerning what is right, not for everyone, but what is right for me. And when? At what time? Powerful, powerful full moon energy. And so besides getting caught up, being like there's the opportunity to be pulled into the heavier energy of like that critical fighting, impulsiveness, reactionary type rebellion. And of course, this higher call to go for the inner rebellion instead, the inner work. That also leads us to another issue that we could be facing right now. And that with this whole like rebellious energy comes like a beautiful vision of how we want things to be. And there's definitely this pull to have this energy like now, right? Like we want it all now. We want this beautiful vision of what our lives could be and who we could be and how the world could be. We want it now without having to do the work, right? We just want it now. We want it to manifest like instantly. What we're also being called to do, and the stars are asking this of us, is, oh, hold on, we need to do a little work. We need to do a little work first. And so this fiery energy that is coming from wanting to change things, we need to direct that energy. And because we're still at the very beginning of this new 35-year cycle, yes, we have this ideal vision of how things are coming to be, but we're still birthing it. And even though you have an idea of what you want this, new birth to look like, let's use the image of a child, right? Birthing a child. You have this idea of what you want the child to be, but it's going to be what it is, right? So right now we have this idea, but there's all this grunt work stuff we have to do first for the birthing process itself. And then once this thing is here, whether it's an idea, versus an actual living thing, an idea, a creation, or it's this new birthing of our new self, this new version of ourselves. Once this new thing is here, there's still a lot of work that has to be done. It's going to be like a baby, right? So much like foundational things is actually what we need to direct that fiery, rebellious energy into. Instead of fighting and deciding who's right or wrong, we actually need to direct that energy into the work of setting up the foundations, especially because we don't know exactly how it's all going to come to be. So what we can do now is focus on the foundations, on getting our needs met, our basic needs met. So your home, finances. Most of us are having to reorganize all of that, right? Redo this whole version and this new way of being. This is a good time to do that and to put all this energy we've got into that. It won't feel like that's not what we want to do right now, especially because remember, we're in the sun sign of Leo, which is all about having fun and partying and being with friends and family, and also enjoying life and pleasure and celebrating. We don't really want to do grunt work right now, but that's exactly what we need to do. So sometimes, we have to postpone the pleasure and do some work in order to get greater pleasure later. And it's not too far off. So right now we're being called to be brave and authentic as we tap into our inner true selves. But from a place of heart and compassion and inner reflection versus outer. And to put our fired up energy into action with those foundational steps. And as always, when feelings come up, there's going to be some fear still lingering, some anger at the past being over. We're called to feel it. Feel it and let it in order to let it go. All right, we got some powerful energies to work with. I invite you to find a standing space. You're welcome to use a yoga mat or just some standing space where you can stand wide, perhaps move your arms around a bit. And go ahead and get that ready and join me at the next step. Let's take this hero's journey together of the Aquarius full moon. We begin our hero's journey by starting in superhero pose. Take a wider stance, feet about hip width distance apart. Turn your feet slightly outwards. Soften the knees. Make sure they're unlocked. You might even want to feel like you're micro-bending them. Bring your fists onto your hips. Now, this pose has been scientifically proven to increase your confidence and self-esteem. It's a fantastic pose to begin our hero's journey. So as you stand here, let's boost up the quality of our experience by taking the time to let the four corners of both feet root down more securely into the ground. Taking the time to root your foundation by grounding down through the big toe mounds, inner heels, baby toe mounds, and outer heels. As best you can, root down evenly and equally. Noticing how there's a little interplay between that balance, and that's okay. Keep redirecting all four corners of the feet down into the ground without locking the knees. If you were to think of the game rock, paper, scissors, imagine the feet represent the rocks, heavy, grounding down through those four corners, like the four corners of a house. As you root down, think now of paper. Paper represented by the torso of your body. From hips to armpits, grow long and wide. With your fists rooting down onto the hips, you can push down a little more into the hips to help you lengthen from hips to armpits. But keep the width as well as the length. Think of the front body and the back body taking up as much space. Sometimes we overdo the front body as we breathe in. As we find the length, we actually shorten it a bit by not keeping the width. So keep length and width here, and gently take shoulders up and back. Rock the feet, paper the body. And now scissors. Think of your legs like the blades of a pair of scissors, and scissor your legs or magnetize them towards each other as if you were trying to bring them together, but don't let them move. Scissor the legs towards each other. Scissor the shoulder blades towards each other in the back body. Once again though, scissoring only enough that still back and front body still remain equal. Rock the feet, paper the body, scissor the legs, scissor the shoulder blades, and take your gaze now a little higher. Look gently up while keeping the back of the neck as long as you can. Notice if you just lifted the front of your neck. Even though you're looking up, drop your chin while lengthening the back of the neck. Now there's a lot of effort here in this superhero pose. It does take a little bit of effort to step into this new life. But as you stand here now, breathing, maintaining the rock, paper, scissor of your alignment of the body, let yourself find a little ease, a balance between the ease and effort. Simply breathe. Breathe and balance the effort and ease. Find one more full breath in. One more full breath out. Release the hands. Bring the feet together. About hip width distance apart. For just a moment, notice the after effects from superhero pose. Prepare now to build your energy, confidence, bravery from the heart through Warrior One. Bring your hands to your hips. Step 1 foot forward and 1 foot back. Bend the front knee. Now notice that your front foot, all 5 toes are pointing directly outwards, out towards the top of your mat. Whereas your back foot, the toes are turning slightly out away from the midline. Not all the way out, just a little bit. Both hips are pointing as best you can towards the front. But they'll be a little wonky, that's okay. Take a look down at your front knee. Notice if the knee is going beyond the ankle. That's a sign you need to take a bigger step forward. Bend the knee and train the knee out towards the baby toe side of your foot. Rock your feet. Root down through those 4 corners. Big toe mounds, inner heels. Baby toe mounds, outer heels. Rock the feet. Paper the body, grow long and wide from hips to pits. Scissor the legs now as if you were going to bring them together. Scissor shoulder blades. Breathe. Warrior 1. Now sometimes as warriors, when we tap into our rebel nature, our warrior-like nature, we can take it a little too far. We can take our ribs out and send this outward energy in our warrior expression. Even if the arms are raised up towards the sky, I want you to imagine bringing the rib cage back, scooping the tailbone more, bringing rib cage in and down. And in fact, think of this little connection line between the middle of your rib cage, the top of it right here in the center, and your tailbone. Think of these 2 points and imagine bringing them together, scooping down with the tailbone while still keeping length through the side body. It's a little tug of war in your own body. Once more, find the ease in that effort. But this helps us take that warrior energy inwards inside. Use your own fire here to do the work on yourself. Yes, how about one more breath in? One more breath out. Slowly, slowly lean forward. Bring your back foot to meet the front. Take a moment to stand well in mountain pose. Feet hip width, arms relaxed. Tune into the after effects from Warrior 1 on one side. Step the other leg forward, other leg back. Front foot, 5 toes pointing forward, back toes, all 5 toes pointing slightly outwards away from the midline. Bending the front knee, finding that ultimate distance between knee and ankle for your body. Now on this side, another fantastic use of the warrior poses is to help us release fear. As we move forward into embodying our inner rebel, there are fears we'll need to face. Now this psoas muscle that starts way down in the legs and actually comes all the way up through the belly and into the back. This is a muscle responsible for fear, holding on to it. So on this side, I encourage you to do this on both sides as you repeat this practice at home. But as you move into the full expression of Warrior 1, begin by backing off first and finding that rib cage tailbone connection first. scooping down. You might feel a big stretch through the back leg already. That's a good sign. We want to feel that. Keeping the tailbone scooping down, then begin to bend that front knee. Training the knee out towards the baby toe side of your foot. Root, rock the feet, paper the body, scissor the legs, scissor shoulder blades, and keep drawing your rib cage and tailbone towards each other in the center. Breathe. Hands on hips, or perhaps bringing hands up towards the sky while maintaining that inward connection and the stretch through the front of the thigh and even into the belly. Breathe through it. Deep inhales, deep exhales. Let yourself release old fear. One more full breath in. One more full breath out. Bring hands to hips. Bring your back leg forward. Take a moment to simply stand in mountain, feet hip width apart, arms relaxed. And notice the after effects from Warrior One. I invite you now to stay standing in mountain, but bring your right wrist over the left, right over left. Cross the baby fingers. Skip the ring. Interlace the middle fingers, the pointer, and finally, on each side, bring thumb to ring finger together. And bring this hand position, or mudra, to rest right in front of your chest. The heart, the energetic heart. This mudra is called fierce heart. As we step onto this warrior's path of the higher rebel, it takes a fierce heart to keep tuning in to what is true for you with compassion and empathy for both yourself and others. It takes a fierce heart to allow the individuality of yourself and everyone else. Let fierce heart mudra help you embody that energy of fierce, high warrior, highest rebel love. Breathe into that energy for 3 to 5 breaths at your own perfect pace. Slowly, slowly release the fingers. Wiggle them around and release the hands fully. Remaining standing in mountain pose, bring your arms out to the sides into cactus arms or goddess arms. As best you can, bringing elbows in line with shoulders, but it's okay if they're hanging down a bit if this is not comfortable. Find a comfortable place, positioning of your arms. And then from here, bring your hands into the peace sign with the two peace fingers, pointer and middle fingers. Bring those peace fingers now together as one. This is called happy mudra. As you breathe in, imagine drawing energy in through the tips of the fingers on both sides. Bring that energy in through the fingers, down through the arm, up into the shoulder, right into the center of the chest. And as you breathe out, send that energy back out from the heart, back out through both arms, out through the fingers. Breathing in, fingers, arms, shoulders, center of the chest. Breathing out from the center, out through the arms, fingers. Keeping front and back body equal. Breathing in through the tips of the fingers, in through the arms, the shoulders, into the center of the chest. Think of it, the center both ways. Exhale, send that energy back out through the arms, back out through the hands and fingers. Continue visualizing the breath entering you this way and exiting in this manner for 3 to 5 more times. Knowing that as you breathe this energy in, you're tapping into these higher vibrations now, higher, more positive type thoughts. You can practice lining up with the vibration of positive thinking with this breath. It can help you think more positive thoughts. So here we go, 3 to 5 breaths at your own perfect pace. Breathing in fingers, arms, heart. Exhaling heart, arms, hands, fingers. Find one more full breath in and out. And then slowly release the arms. Relax the arms alongside the body. Notice the after effects from happy mudra. Final pose before we lie down. Bring your hands to your hips. Step 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, but just keep a shorter stance this time, not such a big one. Just a short stance. Whatever leg is forward, raise that same side arm up. Make a fist and raise the thumb. With the other arm, make a fist and thumb with this one too, but pull back with this opposite arm as if you were pulling on a bow and arrow. And land with your opposite fist at the center of your heart. So from here, it looks like this. We're coming into a slightly turning sideways position with the upper body, even though the legs are still facing forwards. Even here, rock the feet. Root down through the 4 corners of both feet. Paper the body growing long and wide. Shoulders up and back, scissor in the shoulder blades, scissor the arms. Breathe. Now, as you hold this pose, hold your gaze, your eye focus on your front thumb. This pose is called Bring It On. And so as you bring it on in this pose, imagine bringing on this new revolution. Bring on the liberation from the old. Bring on this tuning in to the real you, the highest version of you. Giving yourself a little knock at the heart, reminding yourself to keep this forward gaze from a place of the heart. Tuning into your desire, your passions, your highest self. Find one more full breath in here. One more full breath out. Release the arms. Switch your feet the other way. One foot forward, one foot back. Just a short stance. The new leg that's forward, raise that same side arm up. Make a fist, thumb sticking up. And once again, pull back with your other fist and thumb as if you were holding onto a bow and arrow. Bringing that fist and thumb to rest on your heart as you open up the side of your body now. Opening up the side of the body, open towards the side while keeping the legs facing the front. Turn now and gaze towards your front thumb. Breathe. Rock, paper, scissors. And tune in to yourself. The thumb represents divinity and that part of you that is divinity. As you breathe, tune into that part of you. Find one more full breath in, one more full breath out. Release the arms. Bring both feet back into mountain pose. Let your arms rest alongside the body. Pause for a moment here to notice the after effects from Bring It On pose. And then go ahead and bring your hands together in front of your heart. Keeping babies and thumbs connected, open the 3 middle fingers open wide, creating the shape of a lotus flower, lotus mudra. Bring this lotus flower right in front of your heart. Lotus flowers are gorgeous, but they only grow in dirty, gross, disgusting waters like swamps, which remind us that out of the muck of our past can come forth the most beautiful things. Go ahead and breathe in and raise your lotus flower up towards the sky. Breathe out, let the hands release, spreading out to the sides, and let them join back together in front of the heart in Lotus Mudra once more. Breathe in, raise it up to the light. Breathe out and let the light of enlightenment shower over you. One more time, breathing in. and breathing out. Pause for one last moment, looking down into your Lotus Mudra, noticing the after effects from our full physical practice. Release the hands. I invite you now to find a comfortable lying down position, perhaps on your bed or on a yoga mat, in a reclining armchair, or any position of your choice, but make sure that you're very comfortable. And at this point, I definitely suggest using earbuds for the sound bath experience. Go ahead and set yourself up for full comfort. As you settle into your meditation position of choice, whether that's lying down or seated, use the letting go breath to help you initiate your own relaxation response. Breathing in through the nose. Exhale, open mouth. Try 3 of those now. Breathing in. Exhale, open mouth. Sigh it out. Breathing in deeply through the nose. Exhale, let it go. Last one. Let the front body melt into the back body. Allow the back body to melt into the ground.
voice as if from far away. Deepen your breath. Let each inhale and each exhale be longer, slower, and deeper than the one before. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth. A few more of those at your own perfect pace, breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. Begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Rotate wrists and ankles. Move and stretch in any way that feels nice. Perhaps reaching arms up overhead and stretching from fingers to toes. Hugging knees into chest. Breathe here. Allow the eyes to open if they haven't opened yet. Look around. Breathe, move, stretch, and look around. Keep breathing and moving and looking around. Make your way back up seated. Notice the after effects in body, mind, emotions, spirit. You can tap into these after effects anytime you wish. They are always there within.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this sound bath experience. It was an honor to share this energy with you tonight across time, space, and even technical dimensions. I am so grateful for your support and for your seeking of sound wisdom. My name is Shannon Ross Scott. Thank you. And if this resonates with you, keep tuning in.